Toyota is making an unprecedented 13.6 billion bet that will redefine the electric vehicle landscape, pouring massive resources into developing solid-state battery technology with specifications that sound almost too good to be true. A staggering 745 miles of range, 10-minute charging times, batteries twice as durable as current lithium-ion units, and all at half the cost. This isn't speculative startup hype or theoretical research. Toyota plans to have these revolutionary batteries on the road by 2027, potentially upending the entire automotive industry. The implications are staggering. 745 miles of range nearly doubles today's longest range EV, the Lucid Air, and would enable drives from New York to Chicago without recharging, while the projected 50% cost reduction could be transformative since batteries currently constitute about 30% of an EV's total price. What makes Toyota's claims particularly credible is their track record of delivering game-changing technologies, most notably with the Prius hybrid that reshaped the automotive world. The secret lies in their solid-state battery design, which replaces the liquid electrolytes in conventional lithium-ion batteries with solid materials, enabling ions to move faster while dramatically improving safety by eliminating fire risks. Toyota's approach likely utilizes sulfide-based solid electrolytes, like lithium germanium phosphorus sulfide or lithium sulfide materials that allow exponentially faster ion movement compared to liquid-based systems. The cathode probably features a high nickel composition, potentially NCM 811 with 80% nickel or even 90% nickel variants, for maximum energy density, paired with a lithium metal anode offering up to 10 times the capacity of standard graphite anodes. A critical breakthrough appears to be Toyota's solution to dendrite formation, the microscopic needle-like growths that can short-circuit batteries likely achieved through precise control of the solid electrolyte interface, CI layer. Their manufacturing process represents a radical departure from current methods, employing semiconductor-style deposition techniques to create nanometer-thin layers in ultra-controlled environments rather than the conventional winding of electrodes. With over 0 solid-state battery patents filed in just 3 years, and a partnership with Japanese oil refiner Idemitsu Kosan to scale sulfide electrolyte production, Toyota is mounting a comprehensive assault on the technological and manufacturing challenges. The potential market impact is astronomical, with global EV sales projected to reach 40 million annually by 2030 in a nearly 1 trillion market. Even capturing 10% would mean 4 million vehicles, exceeding Toyota's total 2021 global sales. Beyond automobiles, this technology could revolutionize renewable energy storage, consumer electronics, and aerospace, representing a multi-trillion-dollar total addressable market. However, formidable challenges remain in scaling up production of these moisture and oxygen-sensitive materials, and Toyota faces intense competition from Volkswagen-backed QuantumScape, targeting 2024-2025 production, BMW-partnered Solid Power, and Chinese giants like CATL and BYD. Toyota's advantages are substantial: 55 billion in cash reserves, decades of battery experience, and an extensive patent portfolio. If successful, this could mark the beginning of the end for both internal combustion engines and current lithium-ion battery technology, with solid-state batteries offering superior performance, longer lifespans, easier recyclability, and reduced reliance on controversial materials like cobalt. The stakes extend far beyond any single company. This represents a potential paradigm shift in energy storage that could reshape power grids, urban infrastructure, and humanity's entire relationship with energy. For investors, it presents both extraordinary opportunities and significant risks, with Toyota offering a relatively stable bet, while pure-play companies like QuantumScape present higher risk, higher reward scenarios. The automotive industry now stands at what may prove to be its most significant technological crossroads since the invention of the internal combustion engine itself, as Toyota's aggressive timeline for solid-state battery deployment between 2027-2028, with full-scale production targeted by 2030, threatens to completely redefine the parameters of what's possible in electric mobility. This impending technological shift represents far more than just another incremental advancement in battery chemistry. It promises nothing short of a total paradigm shift that could finally resolve all the lingering compromises that have prevented mainstream consumers from fully embracing electric vehicles, effectively eliminating range anxiety through unprecedented energy density, solving charging bottlenecks with ultra-rapid power replenishment, addressing cost barriers through simplified manufacturing and reduced material rec. Toyota's current leadership position in this high-stakes race, bolstered by its formidable war chest of over 80 patents, strategic partnerships with materials specialists like Idemitsu Kosan, and decades of institutional battery knowledge, gives it a substantial head start. But the path to commercialization remains fraught with technical hurdles that have defeated numerous well-funded competitors before them, including the persistent challenges of maintaining stable interfaces between solid components during thousands of charge cycles and scaling up laboratory successes to mass production volumes without compromising quality or performance. The coming years will serve as the ultimate proving ground, determining whether solid-state batteries represent the long-awaited holy grail of energy storage that finally makes electric vehicles objectively superior to their gasoline counterparts in every meaningful performance metric, or whether they join the growing list of promising battery breakthroughs that ultimately fail to overcome the immense practical challenges of real-world implementation. This technological showdown is occurring against the backdrop of an increasingly urgent global push toward decarbonization, with governments worldwide implementing ever stricter emissions regulations and automakers racing to future-proof their fleets, making the stakes higher than ever before. As the company that cracks the solid-state code could effectively dominate the next era of personal transportation, while those that fail to adapt risk obsolescence. Beyond the corporate competition, the successful development of affordable, high-performance solid-state batteries would have profound societal impacts, potentially accelerating the transition to renewable energy by solving intermittency issues through improved grid storage, reducing reliance on conflict minerals through alternative chemistries, and fundamentally reshaping urban infrastructure as fast-charging capabilities diminish the need for ubiquitous charging stations. For consumers, this technological revolution promises to deliver electric vehicles that no longer require lifestyle compromises, cars that charge faster than filling a gas tank, travel farther between charges than most drivers need, and last longer than conventional vehicles with minimal degradation, while potentially lowering total ownership costs through extended lifespans and reduced maintenance requirements. The ripple effects will extend throughout the entire automotive ecosystem, from dealerships needing to adapt their service departments for fundamentally different vehicle architectures, to insurers recalculating risk models based on transformed safety profiles, to energy companies reevaluating infrastructure investments as demand patterns shift. Even the geopolitical landscape could be reshaped as nations currently dependent on oil exports scramble to adapt, while those controlling key battery material supplies jockey for position in the new energy order. As Toyota and its competitors enter this critical development phase, investors, policymakers, and industry observers alike will be watching with unprecedented interest, knowing that the outcome could determine not just which automakers thrive in the coming decades, but how quickly the world can transition to sustainable transportation systems and what form those systems will ultimately take. The sheer magnitude of what's at stake, trillions in market value, millions of jobs, and the future of global energy infrastructure, makes this one of the most consequential technological races of our time, with Toyota's bold bet representing either visionary leadership or potentially catastrophic overreach, depending on whether their engineers can deliver on these ambitious promises. We stand at the precipice of what future historians may well regard as the second transportation revolution, a technological watershed moment every bit as transformative as the original shift from animal power to internal combustion engines over a century ago. The developments currently unfolding in laboratories and pilot production facilities around the world represent more than just another step in automotive evolution. They herald a complete reimagining of mobility that will fundamentally alter humanity's relationship with transportation in ways we are only beginning to comprehend. As Toyota and other industry pioneers push forward with solid-state battery development, we're witnessing the birth of an energy storage paradigm that could ultimately render today's lithium-ion technology as obsolete as lead-acid batteries seem to contemporary observers, a transition that will ripple across every facet of modern society, with consequences far beyond simply how we power our vehicles. The implications cascade through multiple dimensions of human civilization. Economically, this shift threatens to redraw the global balance of power by diminishing the strategic importance of petroleum reserves while elevating nations that control critical mineral resources for next-generation batteries. Environmentally, it offers the tantalizing possibility of truly sustainable transportation systems that could dramatically accelerate decarbonization efforts if paired with renewable energy infrastructure. Socially, it may reshape urban landscapes as charging times approach parity with gasoline refueling, potentially reducing the need for ubiquitous public charging stations while enabling new vehicle designs freed from the packaging constraints of current battery systems. The cultural impacts could prove equally profound as electric vehicles transition from being perceived as compromise-driven alternatives to becoming objectively superior products that outperform their internal combustion counterparts in every meaningful metric, a psychological shift that may finally break humanity's century-long addiction to fossil fuels. For industries far beyond automotive, the successful development of solid-state technology promises revolutionary changes. Electric aviation could become commercially viable at scale. Renewable energy storage could solve intermittency challenges that currently limit green power adoption, and portable electronics could achieve unprecedented performance benchmarks. Yet these transformative possibilities come with equally significant questions about workforce displacement in traditional automotive sectors, ethical sourcing of next-generation battery materials, and the environmental impact of disposing of or recycling obsolete lithium-ion batteries from the transition period. The geopolitical ramifications alone could fill volumes, as nations currently dependent on oil exports scramble to diversify their economies while countries rich in the minerals needed for solid-state batteries, whether lithium, germanium, or other elements still emerging as critical, gain new strategic importance in what may become the 21st century's version of the oil rush. This technological revolution also raises profound questions about infrastructure readiness, as power grids originally designed for sporadic residential and industrial use may require massive upgrades to handle millions of vehicles charging at ultra-high speeds, while traditional gas stations face existential threats to their business models. Even the temporal dimension of human life may be subtly altered by these changes. The hours currently wasted refueling or recharging vehicles could disappear entirely when 10-minute charging becomes commonplace, effectively adding productive time back into people's lives. The psychological impact of such a shift cannot be overstated, as range anxiety, that modern malaise unique to the electric vehicle era, could become a historical footnote, fundamentally changing how people perceive and plan long-distance travel. As we stand at this inflection point, it's worth remembering that similar moments of technological transition, the shift from sail to steam, from horse to horsepower, from analog to digital, have always produced both intended and entirely unexpected consequences that reshape societies in ways their original inventors could scarcely imagine. The solid-state revolution, should it come to fruition, will likely prove no different, creating new industries we can't yet envision while rendering obsolete economic sectors that currently seem permanent fixtures of our world. For younger generations who will inherit this transformed transportation landscape, today's internal combustion vehicles may soon seem as archaic and inefficient as steam locomotives appear to contemporary observers, fascinating historical artifacts, but wholly unsuited to modern needs. The only true certainty in this period of radical change is that the decisions made by engineers, executives, and policymakers in the coming few years will echo through the remainder of the 21st century and beyond, setting trajectories for technological development that may take generations to fully play out. What begins today in research labs and corporate boardrooms will ultimately determine nothing less than how humanity moves itself and its goods across the planet for the next 100 years, a responsibility whose full weight we are only beginning to appreciate as we write these opening chapters of transportation's next great epoch.